Good morning, guys. So this is my desk camera. That's why it's a little crooked. But I want to stay on this camera for the whole video so that I can show you and hopefully share with you all the different things we can do with leaves. So everything I'm going to need to show you 4 different ways to use leaves today. So let's go through that because you guys can always pause the video and go back if you need to. But I'm going to try and show you in one video what we can do. So for tracing, I'm going to be using markers, but you could also use colored pencils or crayons, whatever you would like, pencil or pen. So I'm going to be using marker for tracing. I'm also going to be doing a rubbing, and for rubbings, we need crayons with the wrapper peeled off of it. Notice that I am going to use warm colors. After that, we're going to go to printing. And for printing, I just need a little bit rougher of a paper so that it doesn't bleed through and make holes, something to put my paint on top of, and paintbrushes and water. And then after that, when we're all done with those 3, we're going to glue them down. So we're going to need some, again, a little bit stiffer of a paper and some glue. So let's get started. The first thing that we can do with our leaves is tracing. So tracing is just following the lines of something that already exists. So if I am tracing these leaves, I can put them around my page how I would like them, and then go back in and maybe fix some things. And then I'm going to take my colors that I would like to use and go around the edges of my leaves. So when I am tracing, I'm going to hold down the leaf with my hand that is not drawing, so my left hand. I got to hold it down, make sure my leaf doesn't move, and then I'm going to go all the way around my edges of my leaf. I try to pick leaves that are a little bit alive still, but I picked these on Saturday and now they're a little dried out. So if you can, get the leaves that still kind of look fresh and alive. So that's my first tracing of my leaf shape. So this is a very good way to get organic shapes. Should use a different color. So I'm still holding it down. Moving my hand as I need to move my marker to hold down the pieces that are not laying flat. So take your time. I'm going to do one more in orange. This big leaf right here. So you can see it doesn't lay flat, it might crack a little bit. So I'm just going to be gentle with it and trace around my shape one more time. I like tracing the stem. Makes it really easy to tell it's leaf. Okay, so that's our tracing. So I can go back in and color them. I saw one person add faces to their leaves. You can do whatever you would like after that, but it gives you a good coloring page with your leaf shapes. Okay, so that's tracing. Next, we're going to go to rubbing. And a couple of you I've showed this to already, but you need crayons with the wrappers pulled off, because what we're going to do is use the side of our crayon. So let me show you on the back. When we use the side of our crayon, we're using this flat edge on our paper. So I put it down just like that, and I can push down on my crayon. So practice that on the back of your paper before you get started if you've never done this before. You can see it gives a nice light color. It fills up a lot of your page. I love using this for backgrounds. We're going to use it for our leaf rubbing. So when we're doing a leaf rubbing, I want to feel which side is bumpier on the leaf. Usually it's the lighter color side on the back where you can feel all of these stems and lines, okay? I want those lines facing up towards me, and then I'm going to put it under the paper. So the lines are still facing up towards me. I put it right under my paper. I hold my paper down flat. I got to hold my paper the whole time with my hand that is not coloring. Then I'm going to take one of my crayons, and again, we're going to press it down sideways over top of where that leaf is under our paper. And you can see it shows up right away. And this is called rubbing. So what I like to do is I like to go up and down over where the leaf is, and then side to side. So I get that nice, good details and catch all of those lines. After I do my first one, I can take a different leaf, stick that one under, and do the same thing. Oh, I have to check which one is veinier. Okay, so this side is definitely bumpier. So I'm going to flip it over. Again, it's the lighter side, and then hold my paper over top. Put my crayon sideways over top of it. Go up and down with the crayon. And then you see it's kind of missing these lines, but when I go side to side, it'll catch those lines too. Okay, I got two. Just add one more. I like to fill up the whole page with this design. Let's try this one, this wavy leaf. Again, my veins are on this lighter color side. That's the darker side, that's the lighter side. But I could feel these veins poking up more on the lighter side. So I'm going to put that side face up under my paper, hold it down again. Take my crayon and go right over top. Kind of went side to side first. So now we're going to go up and down. So make sure you go both ways. There you go. So this is leaf rubbing. You can do this with anything that's textured with paper, but it works very well with leaves to get a nice fall design. All right, next one. I gotta pause because I need some paint. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is printing. So I need some paint for printing. It only really works with paint because we need it to be nice and wet. Got a couple brushes and my paper. So what we're going to do for printing is we're going to use the leaves to get some paint loaded on there, and then we're going to stamp it on our picture. So let's say I want to use this pink, and I can paint them any way I want. So I can use some pink on part of it, and then maybe some red on the rest of it. Give it a nice coating, nice and wet. I don't have to worry about it being perfect because it's not going to print perfect either or stamp perfect. So I just try and coat my leaf as fast as I can so it stays nice and wet with my paint. So that's perfect. That's definitely enough paint right there. And then I can hold it by the stem, and all I'm going to do is place this leaf on top and then pull it away to get my print. I can't let my leaf move, okay, so I have to be gentle and careful because then it's just going to smudge, and we want to keep that shape. So let's do it. I'm going to lay it down carefully, and then I like to use the end of my paintbrush because it won't stick to anything or move anything like your fingers would. And then I just press down on parts of the leaf very carefully. Make sure all of it kind of touches the paper a little bit. If you want to be safe, you can even use the back of the brush like that. Just paint it. Just to push this leaf down onto the paper. And then when I peel it away, I start to get a leaf shape. So this one is a little hard. Let's use a different leaf. It's a little flatter, nicer. Okay, so this is real nice. We're going to use this one. I'm going to try the bumpy side again. Use this nice big brush. And notice how I'm painting over top of, when I paint the leaf, I'm painting over top of this wax paper so I don't get any on my desk or anywhere else. On my paper. Gotta move it over a little bit. Gonna need some more paint. Good thing it's on my desk. Alright, so got a lot of color on my leaf. Nice and blended. Okay, and I'm ready to print. So I covered my leaf. Same thing, I'm gonna press it down. Can use my hands for this one because this leaf is not breaking. It's nice and soft. Careful of your fingers smearing the paint though. So I got that leaf on there nicely. I'm just gonna pick it up. Ooh, that one looks beautiful. Love it. Okay, so that's a way to print. I'm gonna do one more really quick. This little guy right here in some orange paint. I'm gonna use this bumpy side again because that seemed to work fairly nicely. Cover your leaf, press it down, use the back of your paintbrush if you need to. Seemed to work good with my fingers though, so I'm gonna do that again. Press it all down and then peel it up. Oof, love it, beautiful. So you get a nice texture, paint looks pretty, let that dry, got your printing with leaves. I think this one is my favorite technique for our leaves. Okay, and then the last one we're going to do is we're going to use some glue just to glue our leaves down in a crazy pattern. So some of these leaves that got paint on them, I could let them dry and use them later. I'm just going to put them to the side for right now. But one thing that I saw that was really cool made out of leaves was a turkey. So they laid out their leaves like a big fan or a rainbow for the turkey feathers in the back. And then put a little guy in the front for his little turkey body. And I think I need more leaves for that, but I'll show you a picture. But so you guys can make something out of your leaves, or you could just glue them down into a nice pattern to save for later. I am going to glue some down and then maybe put some drawing into it, just like that. So when I'm gluing, kind of make sure that the parts that are going to stick to the paper are glued. So what I like to do is use a brush. So when we're painting with brushes, a lot of these brushes get kind of messed up, get some paint stuck in there. Maybe they get ruined and we're never going to really use them again for paint because they just don't make a nice line. I like to take those brushes. So you can see this brush is kind of messed up. It's got paint stuck in there that's not coming out. I'm going to use this for my glue. So I got to make sure that the flat parts are sticking. So I like to take some glue. We're going to actually use this little piece of our palette. Put some glue on there. And then just paint some glue on these parts that are sticking up at the bottom. So because I know those are the ones that are going to touch the paper. So I just spread some glue around on some of those bumpy parts. And then stick it to my paper. And same thing, we're just going to gently press down with our fingers. These leaves are drying. Now this is something that will start to dry and fade and crack, so it's not going to last forever, guys. That's why we do these other methods, but it is kind of fun to make something out of things from nature just by gluing them. Okay, so it's not, I don't think this leaf is ever going to sit flat, so I just got to make sure that the parts that are touching the paper have some glue on it and just let it dry. Just let it stick there and stick off from the page. Give it some depth. All right. All right, guys, so those are 4 different things we can do with our leaves. I'll show you some pictures also during class of some different options you can make by gluing down these leaves or drawing pictures around your leaves that you traced or drew. Get creative with it, and I can't wait to see what you guys make. Happy almost Thanksgiving. Bye, y'all.